And we're back with some more Washington Capitals franchise mode in FHM 10. And this one, we have the start of year number 2. We're actually at the Prospects tournament right now in the middle of August. Figured we'd start there instead of the preseason. So we have to assemble our roster for the Prospects tournament. Guess we'll have Bjorklund in there and Keller in goal. On defense, it will be Lambos for sure. Iorio, Villeneuve, Levshunov. Got 3 RDs in there already. Galvis. And I guess EJ Emery as well. And then at center, let's get Ryan Leonard in there. Jake Carabella, DeRuio. And there's also Max Swanson or Patrick Thomas. I think we'll go with Max Swanson. And then at wing, you have Andrew Crystal, obviously. Nikita Artamanov, who I actually signed over the offseason. Cutter Gauthier, who we traded for. Alexander Suzdalev. Ivan Miroshnichenko. Matthew Soto. Tarek Parasak. And I kind of want to see what Liukas is all about. We'll add him to the roster as well. There you go. There is the Prospects roster. And our first game was a 4-2 win against the Vegas Golden Knights Prospects. 3 stars of the game, Emery, Morozov, and Liukas. Shots were 39-27 in favor of your Washington Capitals. First period, Miroshnichenko with the power play goal. Makes it 1-0. And then Matthew Soto from Iorio and Liukas makes it 2-0. Nothing happened in the second. And the third, Cutter Gauthier scores from EJ Emery, short-handed on the empty net to make it 3-0. And then Thomas DeRuio and the assist from Suzdalev and Villeneuve makes it 4-0. But then Tuomas Urunen on the power play and Jaka Brabenek. What in the world? 1 second? Are you kidding me? What happened there? So that Brabenek goal came from center ice, literally 1 second after the face-off. He just shoots it from the red line and scores. Oh man. Who is the goaltender in this one? Bjorklund? Oh man, that's gotta suck for him. That's unfortunate. So it looks like Suzdalev had a good game, defensively especially. 81 defensive grade. 85 defensive grade for Max Swanson. Suzdalev with 2 big hits. 9 out of 12 faceoffs won for Max Swanson. So pretty good first game all around. Besides that concerning last second goal from center ice, that was a bit of a shocker, but I guess that can happen. 4-2 loss against San Jose is the next game. 34 shots apiece, 3 stars of the game. Vaisanen, Iorio, and Baudouin. First period, you have Haltonen on the power play for San Jose, making it 1-0, and then Robbins, short-handed, scores for San Jose to make it 2-0, and then Ryan Leonard scores from Artamanov to make it 2-1. Second period, Jake Carabella scores from Soto and Iorio to make it 2-2, and then Quentin Musty scores for San Jose to make it 3-2. And the third period, Cameron Lund on the power play makes it 4-2. Villeneuve with a poor game defensively, 45 defensive grade. Meanwhile, you have a 90 defensive grade for Eetu Liukas, 49 defensive grade for Carabella. Just looking for anyone who stands out in a positive or negative way. Parasak with a good offensive and defensive grade. 83 defensive grade for Suzdalev. And it looks like Bjorklund was in this game, 882 save percentage on 34 shots against. I don't think there's any way to check the stats for the Prospects tournament, unfortunately, as they're not actually on the active roster. And what about over here? Youth tournaments, maybe? No, that's for international. I'm not sure if there's a way to check stats from the Prospects tournament, unfortunately. If there is, let me know, but not that I'm seeing. Oh boy, we got disruptive hostility here. Eric Dubé seems to be the main culprit here. What's his personality looking like? Adjust to a new environment quickly. His game has a dirty side to it, not known for being loyal to his team. So nothing about him being toxic or anything. All right, Ovi, I'm going to need you to step in here as the team captain. Oh, Nikita Artamanov injured in that game. It sucks because he was going to make our roster. I had him basically penciled in for the roster, and he goes down for 1 to 2 months to start his career. Not what you like to see for the kid. Ovechkin with an off-ice incident involved with Carson Lambos. Oh, come on now, Ovi. What's happened? What's going on now? Oh no, this is, oh dear. It's even worse than before. Obviously, we're not trading Ovechkin no matter what, but I don't want to exactly move on from Carson Lambos so soon. I'm gonna try shopping Oshie again, see what I can get. Oh, okay. Okay. Where is this coming from all of a sudden? A third for TJ Oshie? Yes, please. I will take that any day of the week, accept offer. There you go. So we got TJ Oshie out of the roster. Before, I wasn't even able to trade him for like a 7th, and now all of a sudden Vegas comes around with a 3rd. Okay, that works for me. So that trims our roster to 24. And I'm also shopping around Scarbosa. We can get a 6th for him. Yeah, sure. Dallas, why not? So that officially cuts our roster to 23. I didn't want to send any other younger players down to the AHL, as I feel the ones who are remaining on the roster earned their spots. And that includes Crystal. He's a 2.5-star ability now, so we'll see what he can do. Miroshnichenko, despite only being a 1.5-star ability, he did show some good promise during the preseason. Carson Lambos, a 62 defensive grade. It's not great, but shows some promise. And he's 21, his 2-star abilities, so definitely want to see what he's about. Don't want to have him rotting away in the AHL, especially after I just traded for him. Then you have Iorio at a 74 defensive grade. So we're definitely getting younger here in Washington. So with that, I think we are done with the preseason, and we can move on to the start of the regular season of year number 2. All right, so here's our roster heading into year number 2. You have Kemper and Gibson in goal. On defense, you have Carlson, Lambos, Aman Akhtel, Alexiev, Prisky, Iorio, and Villeneuve. And at forward, you have Ovechkin, Strome, Backstrom, Phillips, Protas, McMichael, Kartai, Crystal, Snively, LaPierre, Limoges, Dubé, Frank, and Miroshnichenko. Now, unfortunately, we still have that disruptive hostility going on here, so hopefully I can't see this clearing up on its own. I might have to intervene at some point. And if Dubé doesn't perform like he should, then he might be on his way out, depending on our record. Oh, more media criticism here, this time against Carlson after the loss against Seattle. How'd he play? 69 defensive grade, 55 offensive. Yeah, I mean, there's room for improvement. Now you got Backstrom being criticized, 70 defensive grade, 51 offensive. Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to humor the media right now. Everyone knows we're a bad team. Media criticizes Dubé in his performance against New Jersey. Okay, that one I understand. Yeah, that's a 32 defensive grade and a 53 offensive. Yeah, okay, that one. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, listen, most of the time I'm going to side with my players because, you know, they're my players. But that criticism was definitely valid. Like, that was a terrible game for Dubé. Yeah, we're getting criticized basically every game now by the media. Carlson's being criticized. I checked his game performance. He was fine. There's room for improvement. Yeah, sure. But for where we're at as a team, you know, I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus here besides Dubé. that was deserved. Well, it is November 1st, and we only just got our first win of the season against Montreal there, 7-4. Every other game so far has been a loss. Yeah, it is rough times here in Washington. I mean, that's nothing we didn't know, right? We expected this team to be on its way down when we started this GM mode, but it is certainly, we are in the rough, dark times here in Washington. Ooh, Ovi only has 2 goals so far. I really want him to get to that record. As long as Ovi gets to 895 this season, then all will be well. That and developing our young players is really my only goal this season, because like we're clearly not going to be competing for anything besides the first overall pick. So, you know, may as well try to get Ovi the record while we are clearly in a free-falling state. And oh man, these grades are absolutely atrocious, dude. Not that I was, you know, expecting any less. Oh wow, Andrew Crystal, 69 offensive grade and 63 defensive. So out of all the skaters on our team, he has the highest overall grade. Not bad for the rookie. 7 points in 10 games played. So if there is a bright spot here to this season so far, it's definitely Andrew Crystal. Now let's take a look at team harmony. Yeah, this isn't going away, is it? How's Dubé doing? I'm gonna put him under a microscope until all this is gone. Only 2 points in 10 games played and a 58 overall grade. You're not making a good case for yourself, Dubé, especially after that one terrible game being criticized by the media. I totally understand that. Let's see, is there anyone else I could call up besides Dubé? There is Hoffer, there's Carabella. Both of them are 2-star. Let me just see where they're at. Hoffer can play at this level now. Carabella can't. So I'm going to send down Carabella again. And you know what? Dubé is actually apparently at the wrong level anyway. So I may as well just send him down to the AHL just to get this team harmony sorted out. Yeah, okay, it's looking a little better now. So hopefully after all this goes away, team harmony should start going back up slowly. So we gotta wait for Artamanov and Dubé to go away. Obviously, since Dubé is no longer on the roster, the conflict between Dubé and Artamanov and Dubé and Kemper should go away pretty quickly. So all we'd be waiting on at that point is Lambos and Ovechkin. But yeah, it's pretty clear where this team is gonna be going this season, and that is to the draft lottery, waiting for the first overall pick. I mean, we're not even really scoring that much anymore. At least last season, we were up there in goals for per game. This year, we're 21st so far. Goals against per game, we are still by far worse than the league. 5.3, I should say. And yeah, this is just not a good team overall. 19th for faceoffs. Power play, surprisingly, we're 8th, so that's something we're good at least. But the penalty kill, oh my goodness, that is a 65.2. Yep. This is definitely a season to forget for the most part for your Washington Capitals. Hopefully we can get the record out of Ovi to at least have a silver lining out of this season. But overall, not pretty. Not a pretty season for your Washington Capitals. We might have to consider trading Strome during the deadline. I mean, Strome's doing a great job this season. 9 points in 9 games, but you know, if there's an offer on the table for him that I can't exactly ignore, then I'm not gonna shy away from it. So the good news is Lambos' potential has actually gone up to 4.5 star. It was at 4-star before, so that's a good sign. So at the very least, Crystal and Lambos are the 2 positives out of the season so far, but there's unfortunately not much else. So we're just going to simulate ahead to December 1st and see what November brings. Probably a lot more losing. All right, so team harmony is starting to get better. It's still disruptive hostility, but at least there's color there now. I think once we get to December, I would imagine that team harmony will have fixed itself. Ooh, Cam York's on waivers. I mean, those are some pretty good ratings physically and mentally. He's 23. That's a good contract too. I might pick him up. I just might pick him up. He's got an 86 defensive grade as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that. I think I might have to claim Cam York here from Philly. That would be a really nice pickup. I mean, I could drop Alexiev or Haman Akhtel for him, because it's not like these guys are really gonna grow too much more anyway. Yeah, that's a good pickup. I'm gonna get York. Actually, let me just check his career stats one more time. Yeah, I would imagine that 72 grade overall is probably a really high defensive grade. Yeah, I'm gonna get York. I'm gonna claim him. We'll see if we get him. I would imagine we do. We do now have Cam York on our roster. Welcome to the Washington Capitals, Cam York. Seems like a good waiver claim. We'll see what he can do in a Washington Capitals uniform. Obviously, his defensive grid's going to take a bit of a hit being on this team, but, you know, he is a 2.5 star ability. He's 23, so at the very least, it can't hurt. I think I'm going to send down Alexiev, because at least Akhtel's got 5 points. Alexiev's got 2, and he's minus 12. Blech. Yeah, I think I'm going to send down Alexiev here. Or does he probably has to go through waivers, right? So I actually might just shop him around, see what I can get. Yeah, putting him on waivers would have been a bad idea. I think this is the way to go. Just ship him out for a 4th or something. Yeah, sure, Buffalo can have him. Hey, look at that. Our first game with Cam York on the roster is a 5-1 win against Buffalo, which is the team that we traded Alexiev to. We are not a good team. 4-17-4. This is a very bad team. Yep, we are, I would imagine, 32nd in the league. Yes, indeed. Even behind San Jose. Minus 49 on the season so far. I would imagine that's going to hit negative 100 at some point. I mean, at least you can't exactly say we're tanking, because we kept guys like Strome, we kept Carlson, we still have Ovechkin on board, we still got Kemper, so we still got some old veterans in here who are trying to help us win, but it's just clearly not happening. So I don't know if this is the coach or just the lack of talent in general, maybe both. But one thing's for sure with this team, and that is that it definitely is in need of this rebuild. And we're only just getting started with this rebuild as well. I mean, we may have some young players in there like, you know, Crystal and Lambos, but we're really just getting started. Like, come to the trade deadline, come to the draft, there's probably gonna be more players getting shipped out, like maybe Strome. McMichael hasn't exactly worked out here so far, and he's already 23. There's always a possibility we could ship him out. Prisky's 28, probably got some good trade value being a 2.5 star player. Then of course there's the situation with goaltending. Darcy Kemper's starting to drop. He's a 2.5 star ability now. Still 3 years left on his contract at 5.25 for his cap hit. Yeah, there's a lot to do. There's a lot of work to do with this team. Let's see the stats so far. All right, Ovi's starting to pick up the pace of scoring wise. He's at 13 goals now. So he should be able to get to that 895 goal mark, assuming things carry on the way they are. Dylan Strome's having a good season. Crystal, 17 points in 25 games played. Darcy Kemper has a 910 save percentage. Really? On this team? Are you kidding me? that seems, I guess we're just letting a lot of shots on net, because I don't see how his save percentage could be that high otherwise. So let's just keep advancing here, because there's really not much else to be done, at least not until the trade deadline. Yeah, this team is bad. We are 7-27-5. There's clearly a lot wrong here in Washington. Oof, Ovi's not scoring again. 15 goals. That's only 3 goals that month. So I think I'll go one more month here, and then probably February 1st, we're going to start our trade deadline preparations because it's very clear what needs to be done here. Oh my goodness. Carson Lambos is injured. Let's see how long. It's 80%. Doesn't look too bad. 1 to 2 weeks. Yeah. Unfortunate. All right. So we're on February 1st. We are 10-35-5. So we somehow managed to get 10 wins. Basically, one of the only positives of this season so far has been Andrew Crystal, who's at a 3-star ability now. So he's really starting to grow. And that is about it as far as silver linings go. Ovi's at 21 goals, so he might end up getting to the record. That's another silver lining, potentially. He's at 884 now, only 10 goals away from tying. But yeah, I think Kemper, Gibson, anyone of value really who's not a face of the franchise and is not young can go. So that probably includes Strome. I don't know. McMichael hasn't impressed me. He really has not impressed me with how he's simulated. I might consider trading McMichael as well. He's only got 13 points so far this season and frankly has not simulated well overall. Protus has been pretty good so far this season. He's got 27 points in 34 games. I know he spent a bit of time injured. So Protus I think I'll hold on to. But I don't know. I could foresee quite a few trades coming during the trade deadline. So I think with that being said, I'm going to end things off here. And the next one, we will go through the trade deadline of year number 2. And this is obviously a very bad team, and we need to continue working towards the future. That's our only goal for this season. So I'll leave you guys off here. I'll see you guys in the next one.